Hi, folks. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining. Can you please let me know if I'm audible and if my screen is visible over here? Is my screen visible and am I audible? Can someone please confirm? Two of you have joined. One is me, myself, with my phone. Okay. So I'm just asking the other person, whosoever it is, can you please let me know? Okay, Kirbalni is here. Okay, thank you so much, Kirbalni. So I'll just log out from my phone because I don't really need it. Okay, right. So let's just get cracking. Okay, so over here you got this AFCAT 2024 star because it's a memory based question paper, right? Okay, we'll be solving the entire question paper. All of these instructions you can go through it. Okay, these are all general instructions. Okay, and yeah, this in this question paper the English portion is a little bit easy, not a little bit, it is very easy as compared to what you have got in the last session, but nevertheless let's just do the practice. Okay, right? So this question number 1 to 5 you got fill in the blanks type. So let's jump into the question directly. Rabindranath Tagore founded a small school at Shantiniketan in 1901 and Kalabhavan, an art school, in 1919. Which, okay, then you have the first blank became, which dash became a part of the Vishwabharati University founded in 1921. Now, what will you be filling in the blank number 1? Okay, right? And Kalabhavan, an art school, in 1990, which dash became, which better became a part of the Vishwabharati University, or later, faster or slower. Okay, obviously over here later seems to be the right option for us to go ahead with, isn't it? Okay, right, which later became a part of the Vishwabharati University founded in 1921, located in an dash village. Okay, right? So now it is trying to tell you the quality of the village. Okay, right? Is it a normal village, reliable village, magical village? Okay, idyllic means scenic. Okay, idyllic means scenic, right? Okay, so the correct answer over here is, okay, located in an idyllic village some distance from the city of Calcutta. Kalabhavan presented an attractive and Kalabhavan presented an alternative methodology of art training. Okay, now this word is very important. Okay, that Kalabhavan, it represented an alternative methodology of training in which studio based practice of doing art and craft. Okay, that is the normal the method. Okay, right? But in this case what is happening, Rabindranath Tagore has been promoting alternate method, something like Auroville, you can say, right? Okay, studio based practice was dash in favor of learning through observation and living as part of nature. Okay, so what exactly you are going to fill in blank number 3? Okay, right? Accepted, rejected, investigated, aspired. Okay, right? So what it is saying that Kalabhavan presented an alternative methodologies of art of training in which studio based practice was, obviously studio based practice was not aspired, it was, it was rejected. Okay, it was not investigated or accepted, it was rejected. Okay, right? Kirbalni, you can write down, not just you, whosoever has joined, two of you have joined, please write down your answer in the chat so that I can see that what exactly you are writing. Okay, right? And I'll also move. Okay, I'll move fast because I have 100 odd questions to do. Okay, right? So you guys have to keep up with the pace, right? So studio based practice was rejected in favor of learning through observation and living as part of nature. The natural surrounding with the dash of bare red earth dotted with trees, the colors of changing seasons, the animals and birds dash inspiration to the students. This is what it is saying. Okay, right? The natural surrounding with the, right, the dash of bare red. Okay, murk means dirt. Okay, right? Band and haze. Okay, Vista means your landscape. Okay, vista. Okay, all those of you who come from, CBSE background, there was a book called The Vistas. Okay, right? So that you have to keep in mind. Okay, the animals and birds dash inspiration to the students is what it is saying. Okay, select the most appropriate option for the blank number 5. Okay, groomed, refused, agreed, provided. Obviously, question number 5, agree, provided is what we are going ahead with. Okay, now question number 6 to 10, what we have over here is your passage type questions. But before going ahead with the passage type question, yeah, Kirbani, just write down the, yeah, okay, yeah, D answer you gave for question number 5, right? For question number 5 it is C. Okay, it's not agreed, right? And from question number 6 to 10 we got, kindly get it corrected. Okay, 6 to 10 we got passage type question. So first of all, let's read the question, what exactly they have asked. What is the antonym of the word diversity? What is the antonym of the word migrate? Okay, which of the best description? Then they have asked what is the tone of the passage. Okay, which of the following represents the structure of the passage? Which of the following most accurately state the central idea of the passage? Okay, right? So these are the stuffs that we have in that we have to keep in mind. And with that in mind, let's get ahead and read the passage. Okay, so it is saying mountains occupy about a quarter of Earth's land, harbor most of its biodiversity hotspots, and supply fresh water to an estimated half of humanity. Okay, right? Okay, yes, absolutely. Question number 7 and 6 is absolutely correct for you, Kirbani. Okay, right? Let's just focus on the passage first. Let's just read through what exactly it says. Mountains occupy a quarter of the Earth's land. Okay, right. It is best advisable, even though your answers are correct, I'll really advise you to first read the passage and then do the question. Okay, right? In this case this is easy, but many a times it can be challenging. Okay, right? Mountains occupy about a quarter of Earth's land, harbor most of its biodiversity hotspots, and supply fresh water to an estimated half of humanity, present on every continent. Okay, right? Mountains include a multitude ecosystem holding many unique species such as snow leopard and mountain gorillas. They are also home to great cultural diversity among people adapted to the challenges of mountain life. Okay, right? Their special traditions and breathtaking scenery attract ever-growing number of tourists. Right? Mountain regions are particularly sensitive to degradation from both human pressure and climate change. Steep slopes mean the clearing of forest for farming, settlements, or infrastructure can cause serious soil erosion as well as loss of habitat. Okay, habitat is your dwelling space, right, for animals basically. Erosion and pollution harm the quality of water flowing downstream. Climate change threatens the quantity and timing of water supplies to farm, cities, industry, and power stations. Fast rising temperatures are forcing mountain species, ecosystem, and the people that depend on them to adapt or migrate. Okay, right? So obviously what we are talking about in this passage is that first of all they are like really lauding about the mountain. Okay, then it is saying that how exactly it is teeming with lots of life, scenery, it attracts tourists. Okay, and it also talks about the challenges wherein how exactly human and climate change is actually affecting it. Okay, right? Slopes, steep slopes mean the clearing of forest for farming. Okay, which means for farming the forest has to be cut, right? Okay, and for the infrastructure and settlement. Okay, and what it does is that it causes soil erosion and as well as loss of habitat. Okay, erosion and pollution, right, harm the quality of water flowing downstream. Okay, right? So the passage is easily understandable. What is the antonym of the word diversity? The word antonym of the diversity is obviously it's uniform. All of you have guessed it absolutely right. Okay, what is the antonym of the word migrate? Migrate means to move from one place to another. So A over here is your correct answer. which over here there in question number 8 they're asking the tone of the passage. Okay, it is not completely laudatory, it is not lauding, right, completely. Okay, right, it is not emotional. Emotional is like how you feel about your let's say family, let's say your pet, let's say some loved one. Okay, that is your emotional. I don't think so this passage is emotional. It's like trying to educate people about what exactly the reality is. Okay, and it is not biased. Okay, now you can say like, sir, it is biased towards only talking about the mountains, it's not talking about the earth, rain, water or anything else. Okay, right? Okay, I mean it's not talking about other than mountains, so is it not biased? Okay, no. Biased is like you are only looking at the one aspect, but the author over here, he has not just lauded about the mountain, and as well as he has also presented the challenges that is being facing. Okay, it is more humanistic in nature, so we go ahead with D as an answer for this particular question. Okay, right, I hope you keep the passage in mind. With passage in mind, we do question number 9, which of the following represent the structure of the passage. It's not chronological, wherein they are talking about the passage, in 1900 this happened, in 1910 this happened, 1920 this happened, right? Okay, it's not following any particular timeline over here. Okay, right, it's not a definition also, right? Okay, it's not compare and contrast. Okay, it's not basically comparing with anything else over here. Okay, it's cause and effect. D over here is your correct answer. Okay, which of the following most accurately state the central idea of the passage? Okay, central idea of the passage over here means the what is the crux of the passage. Okay, the crux of the passage over here is obviously, I mean, what is the heart of the passage? Obviously you can feel it, it is about the mountain. Okay, the central idea is not pollution or biodegradation. Okay, right, it's not climate change either, it's about the mountain. B over here is your correct answer. Yep, Kirwali, how many of these questions you have got it? Okay, right. Now we have question number 11. Select the most appropriate option that can substitute the underlined segment in the given segment. If there is no need to substitute it, select no substitution required. Okay, it was a dash afternoon, so Dan decided to take a nap. Okay, that is a question over here. Okay, so it was a, right, what do you think over here? Okay, it was a quiet afternoon, so Dan decided to take a nap. Okay, right, what do you think over here? Question number 11, it was a dash afternoon. Okay, it was over here, the question that we want to convey over here is that, the idea that we want to convey over here is that quiet. Okay, quiet means silent. The actual spelling is Q-U-I-E-T. Okay, right, so it was a quiet afternoon. Okay, right, so over here 11, D is your answer. Okay, right. Now parts of the following sentence have been underlined and given as options. Select the option that contains error. Okay, have they been work in that particular shop for several years? Okay, right, it's a continuous tense. Okay, so over here we are supposed to use working word. Okay, so the correct answer is your A, right, have they been working in that particular shop for years. Okay, right, that is the correct one. Okay, now they are asking select the correct spelling of the incorrectly spelled word. Okay, right, he had a round face made jovial by bright, almost boy's eyes and eyebrows, ridiculously. Okay, right, ridiculously for a man of his size. Okay, so what do you think, which one over here do you think is the right? Okay, is your answer. Okay, right, question number 13 over here. Okay, right, the ridiculously over here is spelled very much wrongly, right? Okay, so right? The correct answer, the correct spelling is this, okay? Ridiculously over here, okay? Right? Quiet, yes, okay? Now question number 14 over here, select the word segment that substitutes, okay, replaces the brackets, okay, right, over here, okay. Select the word segment that substitute replaces the bracketed word segment correctly and completes the sentence meaningfully is what it is asking, okay, right. Unless you do will not prepare, obviously, okay. Now this kind of question wherein they ask you with unless, okay, the sense that it is trying to okay, 14a, okay, 14a Kirubalini, you got caught in that one of the oldest trap over here, okay, right. So unless itself is a negative word, okay, right. So the correct usage over here for question number 14 is unless you prepare well, okay, unless you prepare well, which means saying is it means if you don't prepare well, right, if you don't prepare well, you will not perform well. This is what it is saying, okay. Stick around throughout the classes. I will try to wind it up by 12, okay, right. The following sentence has been split into 4 segments. Identify the segment that contains a grammatical error. Roger went to an United Kingdom with his wife to celebrate Christmas. Which part do you think is wrong over here? Tell me. Question, number and answer. Make it fast and tell me. Yep. Can you please make it fast and tell me? Yeah. Okay. Which part over here is you got the wrong one over here. Okay. The mistake over here in the usage of article. Okay. Right. For there are two nations. Okay. The United Kingdom, the UK, the United States of America. Okay. Right. So the mistake over here is in B. Okay. So that is what you have to keep in mind. Okay. Select the option that can be used as a one word substitution. Okay. To restrain or compel a person to do something by force. I tell you guys 1,000 times that these words have been repeated in this exam or the other. In any defense exam, it is like, coercion, like you will find this word in your NDA, CDS, GAT, or English paper, obviously, right. Casualty means, death, okay. Consensus means agreement. Convoy means, right, okay, military convoy, right, okay, right. One after the another, there will be a lot many buses, going, that is called convoy, okay. Select the option that will improve the underlined part of the given sentence. People say different things at different times, okay, right. People say different things at different times. Can you make this sentence better by using anything else? Okay. People should say fanciful things, okay. Obviously A doesn't seem to be the right answer. They've already declared people say, okay, right. People say, so says also cannot be or the right answer over here. People say different things at different time. In itself, this is the correct answer, but if you do want to make it a bit more personable, more better sounding, you can go for option number D, okay. We'll reject C again for again using S over here. And whimsical, right. Whimsical is what, okay, is something which is not so stable, okay, right, okay. This is also your PYQ word that you should be keeping in mind, okay. This is a diverse thing at diverse time, okay. D, whimsical means let's talk about a person who changes their mind in a very frequent manner, okay. That's called your whimsical, okay, right. Now over here, error detection. I have a dog and a cow. A dog is black, but the cow is black and white. Question number 18. Which one? What do you guys think? Tell me fast. Okay. Write down the answers to the next question already. Okay. Right. I need to finish it off because you guys also have lot many other work to do. Right. So I need to finish it off fast. Okay. So just keep writing the answer in the chat. Okay. Right. So I have a dog and a cow, right. Over here the introduction, right? You have already introduced that you have a dog and a cow, and then you have to definitely, right? This is something called as the definite. Definitely, you have to denote as to which dog. Okay, a dog is black. When you say a dog is black over here, which means it can be any dog. It can be your dog. It can be dog in the streets. It can be dog in the mountains, or it can be dog anywhere in the world. Okay, right? So the dog is black over here is a correct usage, but the cow, right? So the error over here is the dog is black. Okay, right? Select the most appropriate option that can substitute the underlined segment in the given sentence. The team leader tried to remain positive or optimistic in the in the situation, even though they were facing tough competition and limited resources. Okay, the team leader was in a tight spot, right? Okay, so option A, to put a strong hand forward. Okay, I've never heard of such a usage. Okay, right? To put a brave face, right? To put a brave face is like, even though you are really suffering, okay, right? Even though you are really suffering, you are having very much jittery feeling about your AFCAT examinations, right? Okay, but you are really putting up a brave face and trying to show up, trying to cover up whatever you can do in this limited amount of time that you have got, isn't it? Okay, now we have question number 20. It took 7 years for Harish to dash his migraine. That is a question to you. Okay, it took 7 years for Harish to. There will be one question which will be confusing like this. If you know exactly, then you answer. If you don't know exactly, please skip it. Okay, before coming here, I also did not know it. I have learnt it, and I'm telling you, shake down means to extract money forcefully. Okay, right? Shake up means to change completely. Okay, right? It means change completely in the organization. Okay, right? Shake out means dusting. Okay, you have a rug, you have doormats, you shake out, isn't it? Sometimes. Okay, right? That is called shake out. Okay, it took 7 years for Harish to dash his migraine. Obviously, Harish is trying to get rid of migraine. So the correct usage over here is shake off. Okay, please, in the examination hall, if you get questions like this, absolutely, if you know exactly those, then you do it. If you don't know, please respect it. Okay, right? You don't have to score, right? For normal guys, those who are not engineer, 120 is all you get the cutoff. Okay, when the question paper is tough. If the question paper is this easy, then maximum 140, 150 will be your cutoff. Okay, right? So don't try to do the guesswork, and don't jinx your own selection for no reason, right? Okay, now this word equivocal, it has not just been asked, and for that matter belligerent also had not just been asked in your AFCAT exam. It has come in your CDS and ND exams multiple times. That is why I tell you, whenever you read this, okay, I hope I can take 1 minute of your time. Okay, whenever you study questions like this, okay, always try to explore what is the meaning of all of this. Okay, right? That is how you do the complete study, right? Okay, question number 21, 22 says that select the option that is opposite, right? That is opposite in meaning, which means we are doing over here antonym. Okay, equivocal over here. Okay, now if you look at the options over here, obscure means unclear, right? Vague, ambiguous. Okay, all of these three are similar sounding words. Okay, right? So equivocal itself means these words. Okay, right? Equivocal means it is not clear. Okay, so the correct answer is your option number C, 21C. Okay, his behavior was quite belligerent with someone who is very aggressive and who comes out to fight. Okay, right? Someone who is very habitual of getting into fight and all that. Okay, bellicose and belligerent, okay, they are synonym. Okay, combative, okay, right? Someone who wants to fight, that is called combative. Okay, antagonize, okay, antagonize, okay, something like that. Okay, right? Antagonize, okay, whatever it is. Okay, I think this is a misspelling over here. So basically, an antagonist, we are talking about opposite of protagonist. Okay, protagonist is your hero, antagonist is your villain. Okay, so the opposite over here for 22 is going to be D. Okay, right, Kribalni? Are you answering these questions? Tell me, are you answering these questions? Okay, now we are having a little bit of idioms and phrases over here. Look at your laurels. What do you think? Look at your laurels over here. Okay, to make an extra effort to secure one's position, to look suitable for a particular situation, to guard one's trophies, to praise oneself. Okay, look at your laurels. Look at your laurels means, okay, right, to make an extra effort to secure one's position. Okay, A over here is your correct answer. Okay, it's not about looking at the particular situation or to guard your trophies or to praise yourself. Okay, right, A over here is not the correct answer. Okay, tilt at windmills. Okay, what do you think over here? Tilt at windmills, what do you guys think over here is the right answer? To be young and inexperienced, no, this is not the correct answer. To celebrate good news, no. To blow hot airs, again, this is not your correct answer. Tilt at wilderness means to waste time dealing with enemies and problems that do not exist. Okay, basically you are creating problems in your mind that doesn't exist. Okay, right? Okay, obviously you will not go up onto the windmill and try to tilt it. Okay, right? Because windmills are likely to tilt, isn't it? Okay, now you have question number 25, 26. Obviously we got to rearrange all of this. Okay, so the essence of human resource development is, right, remedial role in balancing the socio-economic fabric of the country, right, education which plays a significant and. Okay, what do you think? How do you think we should be going ahead with this particular one over here? Kirban, okay, if you are still there, yeah, okay, right. So see, the a few of these questions are really confusing in nature, but no worries. Okay, right. The essence of human resource development, okay, it is like trying to introduce something, right? Okay, either you can go through this way wherein you try to first understand what is the central theme over here, or you just go through the option. Okay, read D first. Okay, balancing the socio-economic fabric of the country, remedial role in, then S, which plays a significant role. Obviously it sounds very frictionful. Okay, it has got a lot of friction over here, so D cannot really be a right answer. Okay, right. So balancing, now I'm evaluating C, balancing the socio-economic fabric of the country, right, education which plays a significant and remedial role in the essence of human resource development. C also doesn't seem to be the right answer. Okay, so one thing is certain, that it has to start with P. Okay, the essence of human resource development is. Okay, now you have two options, S or Q. Okay, the essence of human resource development is, okay, remedial role in. Okay, the essence of human resource development is, okay, right, which plays a significant and remedial role in balancing the. Okay, so over here something is missing, this education part, this also belongs to S. Okay, the essence of human resource development is education, right, is education which plays a significant role and which plays a significant and, wherever it is significant and remedial role. Okay, right. So with this you could have thought about the connectors. Okay, right, which plays a significant and remedial role. So SQ is a connector, right. Okay, with that you conclude over here A is your answer, and you will realize over here that, oh yeah, C over there, SQ is there, but obviously it cannot start with R. Okay, you can read and understand how much of friction you find. Okay, I'm not a very big fan of subject plus verb plus object. Okay, so I go with this way, and it has earned me very good marks. And your AFCAT syllabus also says that you should know English, not like Shakespeare or some English professor of university or college, okay, right? Or some beautiful English ma'am from some school or some coaching centers, right? Okay, it's not that way, but the syllabus is more like testing you on your usage of English in a workman like attitude, okay, right? So that's what the thing is, okay. Moving on to question number 26, balanced diet and are vital, okay. Balanced diet and are vital of are essential ingredients for a wholesome and fruit and vegetable mass consumption. What do you think over here? Okay, so just read first one over here, RQPS. Okay, start with our fruits and vegetables are essential ingredients for a balanced diet and are vital items of and wholesome and mass consumption, right? This is what it says. Let's start with D. Okay, mass consumption are essential ingredients for a fruit and vegetable. No, D is definitely not your right answer, okay. Basically mass, now I'm evaluating C, so read like that: mass consumption, fruit and vegetables, balanced diet and are vital items are of are are these connectors? Obviously no. C is not your correct answer. Definitely read it, okay. Always read it, okay, right? But if you have to score marks in AFCAT, you have to move quickly, okay. Be in a hurry, but yeah, please minimize your silly mistakes. That's what sometimes will take your selection, okay, right? Then RPSQ, okay. RPSQ, fruits and vegetables, balanced diet and are vital item of mass consumption. Vital items of mass consumption, seriously, does it sound logical? Okay, right? So fruits and vegetables, balanced diet and are vital items of mass consumption are essential ingredients for a wholesome and. Can it end with and? Okay, so B also is not your correct answer in this case over here, okay, right? So first of all, fruits and vegetables, right, are essential ingredients for a balanced diet and are vital elements of wholesome and mass consumption, okay, right? A over here is your correct answer. Right, so you have to tell about the parts of speech about question number 27 and 28, right? Consequently, you have to tell the parts of speech of consequently. This poses a threat to agriculture and human health. Obviously, it's not the name, person, place, right? Okay, it's not your verb, which means it's not in action, right? Noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, okay, right? Adjective is your thoughts, feelings, right? Okay, right? When you say slow, right? When you say slow, right? Okay, it tells that someone is moving, okay, right? To move is an action, which means it's a verb, okay, but it's moving slow, right? It tells about the quality of how exactly it is moving, okay. So that is a adjective, okay, right? It's moving slowly, it is moving slow, right? But when I tell slowly, okay, it again talks about the essence of adjective, okay, right? So the correct answer over here is not adjective, it's adverb. Whenever you find ly in the end, try to mark your answer as adverb, okay. I didn't tell him anything except that I need the money. I didn't tell him anything, one sentence. I needed the money, this is the another sentence. You have two sentences in your hand, okay. So obviously this is nothing but your conjunction. You are conjuncting it, okay, right? D over here is a correct answer, right? So now we are moving to question number 29 and 30 over here. This is your each item in this section consists of a sentence with an underline. Basically you have to tell the word meanings over here, okay, right? Can't across, can't across, can't across. This is also a very hot word, I would say. It has been asked in your multiple examinations, CDS, AFCAT, right? NDA and all that so many times, okay. Cantercross is nothing but your ill-tempered, okay, right? Okay, it's like a grumpy grandma, okay, that is a Cantercross, right? Okay, it's not polite or weak or serious, okay, Cantercross. Okay, our teacher told us not to be verbose, okay, verbose, okay, right? Verbose means, Shashi Tharoor, okay, Shashi Tharoor is like verbose, okay, right? Okay, it's not exaggerating, okay, I mean short and succinct in itself, right? There is one more word, terse, okay. These are your synonym, okay. It's not informal, it's exaggerating, okay. Shashi Tharoor is like, the state of the nation, like something like that, okay. So that is called as the exaggerating over here, okay. Yeah. All right, folks, so with this we are done with English, okay. So now we have a few of the questions in GK, okay. Not a very big fan of GK, but let me tell you the questions and answer directly. Lavani is a traditional dance of which of the following states, okay. Lavani comes from your state of Maharashtra, keep it in mind if at all it gets asked, okay. Law of octaves, right? Law of octaves is about your signs, okay, right? Wherein it says that the outermost layer should have the 2 electrons or the 8 electrons, right? Okay. Galileo Galilei, he was an astronomer, right? Michael Faraday, he was also a scientist, but related to he was more into electromagnetism, okay, right? John Newland, okay, Marie Curie, you know already, right? She's a famous one, also won the Nobel Prize, okay. She was involved with the discovery of radium, okay. John Newlands over here is a correct answer, okay, right? Who among the following Bahmani Sultan, okay, Sultan was noted for cruelty and has got the title called Zalim, okay. Zalim is someone in it's a Urdu word which means that someone who is very cruel, okay, right? So over here it's not Mujahid Shah, Firoz Shah, or Ahmad Shah. The correct answer is Humayun, okay, right? So Babar, okay, the son of Babar was Humayun, okay, and the son of Humayun was Akbar, okay. About the Delhi Sultanate, this is what you can keep in mind. And he used to punish all those people, all those quotations, those who used to sabotage against him, and used to give them a very brutal punishments, like getting people eaten by animals alive, okay, getting humans fried, okay, or boiled, okay, getting them torn from between, right? Something like that. So all of these actions that he used to do, okay, that was your Humayun, okay. The Rajpath was decided to be a permanent venue for the Republic Day parade, from which of the following years onwards, okay. It was from 1955. It has been renamed as your Kartavya Path, okay, right? Kartavya is a Hindi word which means duty, okay. Which disease is caused by not having enough of vitamin C? Yeah, Kirbali, you know all of this? Yeah, kindly write down the answer in the chat, okay. Which disease is caused by not having enough of vitamin C? Over here is what they are asking, okay, right? So the deficiency of vitamin C, right? Deficiency of vitamin A cause night blindness, okay. Vitamin B, it causes beriberi. Vitamin C, it causes scurvy, okay. It's a mouth disease, okay, right? And your vitamin D, it causes what? Rickets, okay. It's a bone disease, right? Okay, and obviously you know the deficiency of vitamin K, it causes, right, it really disturbs the blood clotting. Okay, right? What is the standard weight of the hockey ball, right? Before coming here I also wasn't really aware of this. Okay, the correct answer is 156 to 163 grams. Okay, the Arms Act was passed in dash that prevented Indians from keeping arms without an appropriate license. Okay, that happened in your year 1878 for obvious reasons, that the regiment of that particular time, they didn't want to keep Indians to possess arms, okay, for their own safety reasons. Okay, right? Who takes the salute during the Republic Day parade at New Delhi? Okay, then this is a known to everyone. President, who is the supreme commander of the all the Indian defense forces, the entire defense forces, take the salute over here. Okay, according to the census of 2011, which of the following state has the highest Hindu population percentage of total population? Okay, right? The correct answer is not UP, Haryana or MP. The correct answer over here is your Himachal Pradesh. More than 50% of the population in Himachal Pradesh follow Hinduism as the religion. Okay. Which article of the Indian Constitution mentions that all authorities, civil and judicial in the territory of India shall act in the in aid of the Supreme Court, right? Okay, it is saying that which of the article mentions that all the lower courts, okay, all the civil and judicial authorities, okay, right? Okay, lower courts like High Court, Session Court, District Court, right? Okay, all of these will try to solve the problems of the Supreme Courts. Okay, they should be working in such a way that the case should not really reach the Supreme Court. Okay, the answer will be over here. Article 144B over here is a correct answer. Okay, right? Now we have question number 41 over here. Dihang and Lohit, okay, are rivers in which of the following regions? Okay, Dihang, this particular question, you have got this particular question. Dihang is nothing but your Brahmaputra river. Okay, right? Brahmaputra river. Okay, right? Dihang is your Brahmaputra river. Okay, right? Dihang is a Brahmaputra river, so obviously it is not going to be your Punjab and Jammu Kashmir as your answer. Okay, right? Lohit over here, the correct answer is Sikkim and Manipur. Sikkim is just hilly area, right? So Arunachal Pradesh and Assam over here is your right answer. Okay, Dihang, Brahmaputra river, this was your question in 26-1 as well. Okay, which of the following dance forms is Thumri associated with? Okay, Thumri, right? Okay, Kathakali, Satariya, okay, right? Kathakali and Bharatnatyam. Bharatnatyam is a state dance of Tamil Nadu, right? Kathakali, it is from where? Kerala, right? Okay, Kathak is the state dance of your Uttar Pradesh, right? And over here, Thumri is the dance form, right? Wherein the dance is a little bit erotic in nature. Okay, right? Okay, and it is very much how should I say, right? Okay, there's a word called thumakna, right? Okay, so the dance form is in such a way that it entices people. Okay, right? Okay, and it is very much famous in your Lucknow, Banaras and your Patiala Gharana. Okay, right? Okay, Gharana means basically your you can say the school of thought, right? Okay, all right, Kathak over here is a correct answer. Whom in the following Mauryan king fasted to death and died at Sarvana Belagola? Okay, the correct answer for this question is not Bindusara or Dasratha, right? Okay, Dasratha is your from Ramayana. Okay, Chandragupta Maurya over here is a correct answer. Needless to mention, he was one of the best rulers that Indian subcontinent had seen. Okay, in fact, Ashoka also went on to fast onto death. Okay, Ashoka embraced Buddhism. Okay, right? Because he was also a very fierce ruler, right, in the Kalinga region, right, the present day of your Odisha and Bhubaneswar, right? So he was a very, very fierce ruler. But then when he was when he got a brush with the religion Buddhism, right, what happened that he started thinking as to, hey, what am I doing? Okay, what am I doing with people? Am I doing with life? Okay, right? So he really felt really, really bad about it, that he was just killing so many people for no reason, or only for the reason that he wanted to conquer land. Okay, right? So that was then he also went on to fast on to death after embracing Buddhism. And Chandragupta Maurya also he also went through the same situation, but Chandragupta Maurya in this case he accepted, he embraced Jainism. Okay, right? Okay, shifting agriculture, right? It is a very, very famous question. Shifting agriculture is how exactly it is known in different parts of India. It should be known. Okay, it is known to many words. One of the words is jhoom. Okay, but as far as the Western Ghats is concerned, it is known as Kumaris. Okay, right? Okay, Dahiya, Koman, Waltry. Okay, these are not the answers over here. Okay, right? The measure of force that can cause an object to rotate about an axis. Okay, the measure of force that can cause an object to rotate about an axis. Okay, right? So if you have let's say a Beyblade, okay, right? A Beyblade, what happens to the Beyblade? It rotates on its own axis, isn't it? Okay, so the Beyblade looks like this, isn't it? The Beyblade looks like this, and it rotates like this. Okay, the rotation is happening on this particular axis. Okay, right? It is happening not because of the moment of inertia. You know moment of inertia, right? Okay, the definition of inertia: a body at rest will always tend to be at rest, and the body at motion will always tend to be at motion. Okay, power, again this is not the discussion over here, right? Centripetal force, we'll talk about it. The correct answer over here is your torque. Okay, torque is equal to force into perpendicular displacement, right? Okay, that is your correct answer. Okay, about centripetal force, right? Centripetal force, you should know as much as you can about the centripetal force. Obviously, when the centripetal force is applied, a body revolves in a circular motion. In this case, the acceleration that happens towards the center of the circle. Okay, the acceleration in the centripetal force, when applied on a body, the acceleration happens at the center of the rotation. Kindly keep this in your mind. Okay, so if you have a cycle or a bike, okay, so if you are riding that, so where exactly the acceleration is happening? The acceleration is happening towards the center of the wheel. Okay, right, towards the center of the wheel. You have to keep that in mind, right? Who among the following classical poets of Sultanate period in India popularized Qawwali, a form of music which derives its name from the Arabic word qawl, which means to speak? Okay, right? So this none other than Amir Khusru. He is also known as the father of Qawwali. Okay, Qawwali means to speak. Okay, qawl. You know, if you go to some places of prayers for the Muslim religion, right? Okay, dargah or mosque, you will see like people praying in a very how should I say, in a very loud and energetic manner, and that is called Qawwali. Okay, right? So what is the name of the 1,3-isomer or meta-isomer of benzenidol? Okay, whatever it is. Okay, right, with the chemical formula C6H4OH. Okay, right? Okay, I don't know what is the correct answer here. I've seen the solution. The answer is resorcinol. If you guys are good with science, then yeah, okay, this is the one for you. Okay, and very recently what I saw the CAPF question paper. In that they have been asking about the octane. Okay, right, when you get the petrol, so in that petrol there is like different, you know, people are talking about what E20 something, right? Okay, right, wherein they use the formula of sugarcane and stuff, right? Okay, so there is something called octane. Higher the octane level, the better is your fuel, right? Okay, so that the question had come from that particular perspective also, so that you have to you can explore. Okay, whatever you will find OL, okay, that is your alcohol component. Okay, that is also one more thing that you have to molecules of alcohol, that is also another thing that you should keep in mind. Okay, who was or were the founders of Theosophical Society? Okay, the founders of the Theosophical Society was H.P. Blavatsky and Colonel Olcott. Okay, right, and it was very much popularized in India because the founders of this, they were like little bit acceptable towards the Indian way of thought. Indian, you know, it's very much religious in nature, right? Okay, our flag consists of saffron, white and green. Okay, right, saffron, it represents nothing but your Hinduism. Okay, and white is obviously, it represents the peace and harmony, and then green represents the Muslim as a religion. Okay, so India is a very unique country wherein many of the people from multiple religions live together in a peace and harmony. Okay, and for that matter, wherever you get this word theo, okay, theology, okay, there is a word called theology. Okay, theology means the study of religion. Okay, study of religion is called theology. Why do people pray rivers? Okay, why do you celebrate Sankranti? Why do you celebrate Onam, Pongal? Okay, and why, how is it that is like how why the sacrifices are being performed and all that. Okay, so people ask all of those basic questions when you study theology. Okay, right, and these answers are very close. Madam Bikaji Kama, Annie Besant. Okay, right. Okay, Annie Besant was related to home rule. Okay, Charles W. Leadbeater and Emily Lutyens. Okay, right. From the Lutyens, I wanted to tell you something. From the Lutyens, I wanted to tell you that there were two architects. Okay, their names were Herbert Baker and Albert Lutyens. Okay, Lutyens. Okay, Lutyens. Okay, these were the people who were responsible for planning New Delhi. Okay, right. So this, so many times this question come in your competitive exam. Okay, please check the name. Okay, so many times when you read the newspaper, it will be like Lutyens Delhi. Okay, Lutyens Delhi. Okay, that is the reason, right? This Herbert Baker and Albert I'm not getting his initials. Okay, Herbert Baker and Albert Lutyens. He was responsible for designing Delhi. When I say Delhi, they are responsible for designing the old Sansad, right? The Rajpath, right, or the Kartavya path that you have newly renamed. Okay, and all those, you must have gone to India Gate and all that. Okay, right. So that is where it was. Okay, right. From Lutyens. Okay, which of the following organism belongs to phylum Epicomplexa? Okay, the correct answer is Plasmodium over here. Okay, right. Now this animal Plasmodium, if you cut this animal into 2-3 parts over here, right, from this a new each of this part, a new organism will come out into the picture. Okay, right. Okay, so you have to keep this in mind. This Plasmodium, it is also known as Plasmodium parasite. Okay, right. So you have to keep this in mind. Very much repeated question from your, not just AFCAT, also from CDS and NDA point of view as well. Okay, right. 1932, who discovered the positron? Right, positron is basically an electron with positive charge. Okay, right, particle described as carrying a positive charge but having a mass of same order of magnitude as that normally possessed by free negative electron. Okay, Neil Bohr and Ernest Rutherford, these guys were very early than 1932, isn't it? Okay, these guys were at the beginning of 1900s. Okay, right. Okay, then you will have doubt with these two options, right? Okay, Paul Dirac is not the correct answer. The correct answer over here is Carl Anderson. If you don't know anything, you can only go for 50-50 over here. I would have gone for 50-50 over here, right? Okay. Which of the following rights forbid employment of children below 14 years in dangerous job? It's not about right to equalities, right to constitutional remedies. Okay, it's not that. Okay, you need to know and in which particular article right to constitutional remedies is mentioned. Article 358. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong over here. Right against exploitation. C over here is your correct answer. Right to freedom is also not your correct answer. Okay, which of the following book is an autobiography of the Indian politician L.K. Advani? Lal Krishna Advani. Okay, he was also the Deputy Prime Minister of India. Okay, you know Wings of Fire, it has been written by APJ Abdul Kalam. Okay, right. My Times, an autobiography, is not written by him. In Pursuit of Justice, again, is not written by him. Okay, it was written by My Country, My Life. Okay, Lal Krishna Advani, L.K. Advani, right? Okay, he has also been conferred with Bharat Ratna, I think posthumously, right, after his death. Okay, from which 5-year plan did India start journey of industrialization? Now this is a very, very classic question. Okay, what do you think over here? Tell me. Question number 53, what do you think? Okay, so industrialization in India, it got its focus from the second 5-year plan. Okay, right, second 5-year plan. This is very, very important. In this second 5-year plan, what actually happened was that different nations like Germany, Britain, okay, right, US, Russia, right, all of these came, supported India in the nation building process. Okay, because that is when the India really got independence, isn't it? Okay, the first 5-year plan was like 1950, and second 5-year plan was like 1955, right? The focus of the first 5-year plan was to boost agriculture. Okay, the second 5-year plan, the focus was to focus on to industrialization. Okay, so each of these right countries over here, they came to India. They didn't come to India. I mean, their people came to India, and their goodwill supported India in boosting the infrastructures for your steel plants, like you have in Bhilai, Rourkela, right? Okay, Durgapur and all that. Okay, right? So these were built by the expertise received from these nations over here. You should read more about it. Okay, the masculine aspect of Manipuri classical dance is known as, okay, right, it is known as cholams. Okay, that is the only thing I know, so that's the only thing I can tell you possibly. Okay, which of the following is an indirect tax? Okay, it is which of the following is an indirect tax? Okay, the direct tax is some tax that you pay from your pocket. Okay, direct taxes you pay from the pocket. Okay, indirect tax is that you don't pay from your pocket, but it gets out from your pocket, but somebody pays it on your behalf. Okay, right? It's nothing like death duty. Okay, right? Capital gains tax you pay, it is a direct tax. Okay, interest tax, this is also a direct tax, right? Okay, in goods and services tax, what actually happens? Let's say you are purchasing a course from Faujis Academy, let's say. Okay, right, you got enrolled into Faujis Academy, right, and the course is priced at, let's say, 15,000 over here. Okay, right, you must be enrolling in many different courses, right? Okay, so now they will ask for 18% GST, right? Okay, 18% GST, which has actually been borne by you, which means you have paid for it, but who will submit it to the government? Faujis Academy will submit it to the government. Okay, right, actually you have only paid, but the submission to the government will happen by this company. Okay, that is called as the goods and services tax. This is your indirect tax. Okay, right. All right, so I'm sure you guys must be waiting for me to get started with mathematics. Meanwhile, we are done with 1 hour over here. Okay, right, so yeah, only 3 of you, one is me myself over here, right? Okay, yeah, Kirbani has stopped answering, right? What happened, Kirbani? Yep, Kirbani, you have stopped answering. What happened? All good? Yeah. Okay, so we get started with your mathematics in a moment, right? Okay, we get started with mathematics in a moment, right? Okay, so find the fourth proportional. I have taught you what do you mean by the fourth proportional over here, right? Isn't it? Okay, is there anything easier than these questions over here? What is the fourth proportional? Write down your answers. Yeah, write down the answers, folks. Hold on, let me adjust it so that I can see your chat. I'm here, sir. Okay. Just being here is not enough, Kirbani. You got to answer. All right, look at this. Okay, the fourth proportional is basically they are asking if 22 is to 66 proportional, 11 is to what? Right? You know what is this? Okay, this is your 22 by 62, which is equal to 11 by x. This one gone 3 times, right? Okay, which means x is equal to 33, right? B over here is your correct answer, right? Okay, yeah. Okay, an article is sold at a discount of 25%. Okay, if an article is, yeah, okay, right? Just write down the question number and option number, then I will know that which particular question you are talking about. Okay, an article is sold at a discount of 25% and an additional discount of 28%. Okay, if I want to say x is the amount, 25% discount means 0.75 remaining, 28% discount means what? Okay, right? 0.72 remaining, which is equal to 10800, right? This is what we have, right? If Ramendra purchased the article by paying 10,800 in cash, then what was the marked price of the article is what they are asking. Okay, right? So I'm saying marked price is x, 25% discount means 0.75 remaining, 28% again discount means 0.72 is remaining, right? Okay, so which is equal to into 100, over here into 100, right? This is your 3 times, this is your 4 times, right? This is your 36 times, this is your 50 times. Okay, right? 36 into 3 is 108, and this one gone 100 over here, which means x is equal to 4 into 50 into 100 over here. Okay, 57C is exactly your correct answer. Good. Okay, how about 58? What do you think? A shopkeeper marked the price, okay, 15,000 rupees on an article, and a successive discount of 5%, 10% and 20% was allowed in it. Okay, right? Okay, 5%, 10% and, yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, 58, a shopkeeper marked the price for 15,000 rupees and there's a successive discount of 5%, 10% and 20%. Then what is the selling price is what they are saying. Okay, so you have 15,000, okay, 5% discount means how much remaining? 0.95 remaining. 10% discount means how much remaining? 0.9 remaining, right? 20% discount means how much remaining? 0.8 remaining. Okay, now it does not really matter in which particular order you are giving this. Okay, first you can calculate 20% also, or you can calculate 5% also, it's your choice, or 10%. Okay, but now tell me which one will you calculate first so that you have your life easy, right? So first of all I will calculate this 20% first. Okay, right? So if your 20% discount is what you are giving, okay, right? So I will get done with this, right? Okay, and then I will write over here how much. Over here 15,000 into 0.8 is your 12,000, right? Okay, right? And then if I want to get done with 0.9 over here, okay, so this is your 10,800. Okay, and out of this particular value 10,800 you have to find out 0.95, which means you have to deduct 5%, right? If you have to deduct 5%, 10% of this value is 1080, then 5% of this value is going to be how much? 540 minus 06201. That's it. Okay, over here A is your correct answer for this particular question. Okay, I've taught this to you, right? Isn't it? Okay, the value of a washing machine depreciated from 40960 to 21970 in 3 years. Okay, right? So 40960 to 21970. This is what it is over here, right? Okay, now if you over here, right, if you want to calculate depreciation, obviously you can do this particular value divided by 40960 into 100, right? It will give you how much is the change in terms of percentage. And now if you divide that by 3, it will give you, right, for each of the year. This is also one of the ways to do this. Okay, and another way to do this is also, right, 40960 and 21970. Okay, right? Can I assume these two numbers like this, okay, in proportion? If I assume these two numbers in proportion, okay, since it is 3 years, right, since the depreciation is happening for 3 years, and if you look at these numbers carefully, right, this is nothing but your cube root of 16, sorry, cube of 16, and this is your cube of 13. Okay, since depreciation is happening, right, so we will put 3, root 3, okay, cube root of 3, right? Why? Because depreciation is happening for 3 years, right? That is why we are putting it like that, which means 16 has basically become 13. Okay, if 16 has basically become 13 over here, right, find the yearly rate of depreciation is what it is asking. Okay, right? So which means on an yearly basis 16 was becoming 13. Okay, so how much is the depreciation? 3 out of 16 into 100 is what we are going to find, we are having over here. Okay, right? 8, 50, 4, 25. Okay, so which means 75 by 4. Okay, right? So it is how much? 18.75 is your answer over here. Okay, right? Now A and B are equally efficient and each individual can complete the work in 36 days. Okay, if none takes any holiday, if none of them takes any holiday, they can complete the work in 36 days. But A took a day off after every 5 days of work, and B took a day off after every 7 days of work. Okay, if both starts to work on 1st July 2021, on which particular day the work will be completed? This is what it is asking. Okay, Kirwani, what do you think? What do you think about this one, Kirwani? Tell me. Yeah, what do you think about this one? Yeah, Kirwani. Yeah. All right. Okay, right? So basically if I want to assume over here, right, A, right, and B, right, A and B are equally efficient and each can individually work in 36 days. Okay, right? A is able to finish off the work in 36 days. B is also able to finish off the work in 36 days. So obviously A plus B together they will be able to finish off the work in 18 days. Right? That is your point number 1, right? 60C. Yes, that is your correct answer. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so on one single day, and if I want to assume that total work is equal to 36, so which means alone A is doing one work, B is also doing one work. Okay, A plus B together they are doing how much? 2 work. Okay, right? And then what actually happening? Day 1, right? 2 work is happening, day 2, day 3, day 4, right? Day 5. 5 days they are working together, and on the 6th day what is happening? And on 6th day what is happening? A is on leave, right? Okay. Then 7th day they have worked together. 8th day what is happening? B is on leave, isn't it? Okay, right? B is on leave, isn't it? Okay. And then what will happen? Then for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th day, okay, right? Then you have over here 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th day. Only one will work, isn't it? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Okay, I'm talking about A over here. Both worked. Okay, A alone is there on the 6th day. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6th day only A is there, right? 6th day only A is there, right? And over here, right, 1 was there. Okay, then 2, 2, 2, 2, right? 4, 5, 6, 7. Now this is the 8th day, right? Okay, now this is the 8th day, and who is there, right? Over here only A is working, right? Okay, so how much of work has happened? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12 into 2, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 work is already gone, right? So now you need to work for 8 more work needs to be done, isn't it? 8 more unit of work needs to be done over here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th day, right? 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13, 14, 15, 16, right? Then is your 17th, 18th day, this guy will take a break, isn't it? Okay, right? So over here is your how much? 2, 2, and then one more time 2, right? So how many days we have in hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, right? So the work gets completed on 21st day, which is your C over here is your correct answer. Yep, guys. Anybody there? Yeah. Okay. So now we move to question number 61. Okay. The radius of a metallic spherical ball is 3 centimeter. Okay. Right. The radius of the metallic spherical ball is 3 centimeter. If metallic ball is melted and recast into X number of hemispherical balls, hemispheres of radius equal to half. Okay, right? So for a sphere, the 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay, this is the volume of the sphere. Okay, if the metallic ball is melted and recast into X number of hemisphere, X into 2 by 3 pi r cube, right? So this one gone, this one gone, this, and this also gone, this one gone, this one gone. Okay, this one gone with this also. So X is equal to 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, which is your 16 over here is your correct answer. Okay. Yeah. Who are all there? Who are all there? Who are all there? Tell me. Tell to me who are all there. Okay, maths. Whenever maths come into the picture, you guys go on to a task, right? Yeah. Okay. Some ice pieces spherical in shape of diameter 6 centimeter are dropped in a cylindrical container containing some juice and are fully submerged if the diameter of the container is 18 centimeter. Okay, so basically you have cylindrical stuff like this, and in that you are dropping ice, okay, obviously to drink or to do something whatever you want to do. Okay, and then the water level rises by 40 centimeter. Then it is asking how many spherical ice pieces you have dropped. Basically the volume that is going to be there, okay, the volume by which the water level will rise in the cylinder will be equal to the volume of the spherical pieces. So the volume of cylinder is pi r. Okay, now it is given as diameter. Okay, pi r square h. H is the height to which it rises, which is 40. Okay, right, which is equal to n times the number of your spherical shape, right, over here your some ice pieces, right? Okay, so if it is sphere means 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay, so this is what you have into the picture. This one gone, this one gone, this gone, 3 gone, 3 gone, this one gone, 10 over here. Okay, so which means n is equal to 90. D over here is your correct answer. Yeah, folks, anyone, if you are there, you should be writing down the answers. Okay, right? Quickly write down the answers. We don't have much questions. Okay, right? Now, this question, this type of question came in your last AFCAT also. Okay, right? Don't spend time with studying too much GK. Focus your time with maths and reasoning. Okay, right? Little bit of GK everyone knows. We don't have to study as much as GK as you are being taught on YouTube by other instructors. Okay, right? Okay, I really don't appreciate that. Okay, but yeah, if you appreciate that, you can go for it. Maths is difficult, so you don't show up. I know that. Okay, so 63, a fast local train of Mumbai takes 45 minutes less than a slow local train for a journey of 150 km. If the speed of the fast local train is 10 kmph more than the slow local train, then find the speed in kmph of the slow local train. Okay, so time taken by the over here your fast local train is going to be slow local train is going to be this particular value, right? Distance by speed, I don't know the speed, I'm assuming is at x. Okay, and 150 by x plus 10 over here, right? Okay, this is your fast local train, right? And what happens is that the fast local train reaches 45 minutes early, it takes 45 minutes less. Okay, so which means this is the difference. 45 minutes means 45 by 60, right? 3 by 4, right? Okay, now you have to find out as to which particular option will work out over here. Okay, do you think that 35 will work out over here by looking at the equation over here? No, even 45 doesn't work out. We can give it a shot with the number 30. If you give it a shot with number 30, 150 by 30, 150 by 40. This one gone 5 times, this one gone this. Okay, 5 minus 15 by 4, which is your 5 by 4. How much did we want? We want 3 by 4. So this is not your answer, right? Which one is the answer? Who are all there? 3 of you. Write down the answer. Yeah? Kirubali, are you there? Who are all there? Write down the answer A, B, C, D, whatever. Okay? I told you that B and D are definitely not your answers over here. Okay? and we found out that A is also not your answer. So obviously D is the answer. Now you substitute X value as 40 over here and this particular value 50 over here. Okay, right? So this particular value is your 3. Okay, and this particular value is your 4. Okay, and this particular value is your 15 basically. Okay, so 15 by 4 minus 3 is your how much? 3 by 4. So D over here is your correct answer. Yes. Who are these 3 guys? One is me, myself. Who are the 2 guys? Okay. Who are the rest of the 2 guys? Okay. Yep. You got to write down the answer. Okay. Right. In a school of 720 students, the ratio of the boys to girls, okay, is 3:5. Okay. If the boys to girl, the ratio is 3:5 over here. Okay. 5 plus 3 is 8. Okay. Right. So which means over here 270 and over here 450. Okay, right? So boys number is 270 and girls number is 450. Okay, 18 new girls are being added. Okay, so if 18 new girls are being added, so it is your 468, right? Sir, how much questions should we attempt overall if you're not sure about the answer? I would say Bravo 7552. There is no set number of questions that you should be answering. Maths, GK, and reasoning you should do with 100% accuracy. If you know, then only you do it. If you don't know, please do not touch it. Okay. English you can take a little bit of risk, but please try to take less risk. Okay, right? There is no set answer there is no set answer to it. When I used to write this paper, those time the cutoff used to be sometimes 164 also. So we were supposed to attend good number of questions. But in your time, the last exam cutoff was 120 only. So 110 only. So you can imagine it's like your 40 odd question is what you have to do. If you can do 40 odd questions correctly, then please you are good. Okay, right? Maths, reasoning, and GK, you have to do whatever you know with 100% accuracy. Don't sabotage yourself by doing it wrongly. Okay, right? And then about your English, you can take a little bit of risk. Okay, so yeah, 18 new girls have been admitted, so that the ratio, how many boys should be added over here? Okay, right? How many boys should be added over here so that the ratio becomes, right, 468, right? 2:3 is what they are asking. Okay, right? So this is your 27 into 3 is your 810 plus 3x, which is equal to 6, and then 3 936. Okay, so which means 3x is equal to 936 minus 810. Okay, which is your 6, 2 and 1, and then this is your 4 and 2, right? 42 over here is your answer for question number 64. Okay. Now we reach question number 65 over here. Study the given table and answer the question that follows. Okay. The average number of children per family is what they are asking. Okay, bravo. I hope I was able to answer your question. Okay, right? Now, if you add all of this, 22, 37 plus 41, 41 plus 6, 47, 49. Okay, this is 49. And if I want to calculate it this way, 0, this is your 22, this is your 30, this is your 18, this is your 8. Okay, right? So 40 plus 30 is your 78. Okay, right? So total 78 children and number of families over here are 49. Okay, now don't calculate 78 by 49. Okay, instead I would tell you to calculate 78 by 50. Okay, right? That's what I would say. Instead of calculating 78 by 49, do 78 by 50. Okay, right? So if you do 78 by 50, right, how much is the answer, right? Okay, 1 point. Okay, 28. Okay, right? So 1.56, this value is your 1.56, right? And obviously we approximated 49 with 50 over here. So we are supposed to get a lower answer than the actual value. So we can easily say over here, B over here is your correct answer. Okay. Question number 66. Which of the following is the greatest 4-digit number that is divisible with these values over here? 15, 25, 40 and 75. Okay, in that case, just pick up the values over here. Whichever value is the biggest, just first of all pick up that. Okay, divisible by 15, divisible by 25, divisible by this number also, and easily it is clearly divisible by 75 also. Why? 75 into 2 is your 150. This value is clearly a multiple of 150, right? Okay, right? So 66C over here is your answer. Okay, these should come with this intuition will come to you with lots and lots of practice. Okay, so kindly do that. Average of the first 6 prime number. What are the first 6 prime numbers? 2, 3, 5, 7. It's not 9 and then 13. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, how much is it? This is your 20, 31, 31 plus 5. 31 plus 5 is how much? 36. 36 plus 6 is how much? 41. Okay, right? So 41 and 6, 36 and 5. Okay, 6 and 5 by 6, 67. B over here is your answer. Okay. Yeah, Kirbalni, are you there? Kirbalni, any of the aspirants over here who is enrolled with us over here at Faujis Academy? Is there any one of us who is enrolled at Faujis Academy and attending the class? Yeah, you're a handful of you, 9, 10 of you only. Yeah. Tell me, folks, is there any one of you over here? Okay, just focus on these values, these. Okay, now simplify the given expression is what they are asking, right? Okay, I can assume a value as 1. Okay, right? Then automatically minus a will become this, b value as 2, then c automatically becomes this. Okay, now we solve for it. Okay, now we solve for it. B value is your 2 plus 2 minus 3b, 2a. B plus 2a minus 3b, b value is 2, which means 6 plus 1, 7 minus 2a, right? 2a value is your 2 only, plus b value is again 2, plus 2, right, minus a value is your 1. Okay, right? So this is your 2 plus 2. Don't be in a hurry to solve this. Okay, right? This value is your, I can write it 4. If I write it as 4 over here, now this particular value 7 plus 2 is 9 minus 4. 9 minus 4 is how much? 5. 9 minus 4 is 5. Okay, now I can get rid of this also, right? Now how much do we have in hand over here? Okay, right? 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 plus 2 is 4 minus 6, which is your how much? Minus 2. Since we got minus 2, we'll go ahead with C over here as your answer. That was the only single answer that was possible, right? Okay. Alright, so in a store, Arun has 2 options to buy a mobile phone. Either he can pay an amount of 2500 or he may buy an installment scheme, 520 rupees in down payment and 4 equal installments. Rate of interest being charged as 25 PA simple interest. Arun buys mobile phone installment scheme. Okay, I'm not doing this question. Okay, this is a installment question. Okay, this question is a trap. Okay, this question is a trap, and this question needs to be avoided in the examination hall. Okay, right? Okay, so please avoid this question because this is lengthy and it will unnecessarily take your good amount of time that you might not be willing to spend. Okay, right? Now simplify the expression. How do I simplify this expression? I'm assuming certain values, x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 2. Okay, can I assume? I'm just breaking this grotesque looking calculation into your definitive calculation. X is equal to 1, y is equal to 2. Y is equal to 2 is 2 into 2 is how much? 4, right? Y value is 2 minus x value is 3 plus x plus y over here is your 3, right? X minus y over here is a minus 1 plus x minus 2 3y is equal to your 1 minus 6, right? And 2x plus y over here is your 2 plus 2, which is your 4. Okay, right? So this is your minus 3 into minus 1, and this is your minus 3. So this is over here minus 3 over here. Okay, and then this particular value is your minus 5. So basically this is a minus 20, and if you solve for this particular value, you will get it a positive 3. Okay, so which means in essence we are getting minus 20 over here, right? If you solve for this, you should be getting minus 20 over here. Okay, right? So let's check which option do you want to check first. Okay, either if you want to work with the variables, it will take a lot of your time. That obviously don't check this 2x first. Okay, first check 2y. Okay, so option A and B is what we are going to check first. Okay, 2 into y value is this, x value was 1, 3y is this. Okay, 2 into 2 is your 4, and this is a minus 1. Okay, right? Option A itself came, so A is your answer, right? Okay, B will not be the answer. Okay, you can check for it. Even C and D will not be your answer over here. Okay, right? Ayush spends 25% of an amount of money on insurance policy, 26% on food, 23% on children's education, and 19% on recreation. He deposited the remaining amount. How much is this particular value? First of all, you tell me. Okay, 26 plus 19. 26 plus 19 is how much? 35 plus 10, 45. 45 plus 5 is 50. 50 plus 20 is 70. 80, 90. That means he has spent 97%. Okay, right? Which means 7%. Okay, if I assume that his total income was X, right? X of 7% is equal to 26,600, right? So first of all, let's just calculate how much he earns. Okay, right? So X value is equal to okay, I mean his X value is his earning. Okay, I'm not writing all of those. Okay, and this particular value is 0.07, and obviously if it goes over here, we'll be having something like this. Okay, so now let's just calculate it. 7 3 times 8 times 0 so 380000. Okay, so Ayush is earning 3,80,000 rupees per month, or whatever this particular value is. Okay, obviously he is richer than me for sure. Okay, yeah, all right. Okay, so what is the total amount that he spends on food and recreation together? Food 26%, and recreation, where is recreation? 19%. Okay, so he spends how much? 45% of this particular value, right? 45% of this particular value. So you know that value is going to be less than 1,90,000. Okay, right? Less than 1,90,000, right? So A option is damn sure is not there in your answer. Okay, right? So 1,90,000 is your 50%, right? 1,90,000 is a 50%, and then you have to take down 5% more. Okay, 1% is 3,80,000. Yeah, how much is this? 45% of this particular value. Just multiply 38 with 45. Okay, how much is this? 0, 4. uh, 47 plus 1 5, right? It is this particular value 171, right? Okay, so you can calculate B over here is your answer. Okay, all right. Right, so the number of balls, each one is 4 centimeter in diameter. Look at this one. You are going to fall in love with maths. Okay, the number of balls, each one 4 centimeter in diameter, that can be made from a solid metallic sphere of diameter. Okay, both of the situations you have got metallic spheres in both these cases over here. Okay, I'm saying x number of balls can be made. Okay, obviously you are going to write 4 by 3 pi r cube, isn't it? But let's say I'm not writing it. I'm only writing the radius over here, cube, radius cube, which is equal to over here, right? The bigger sphere, radius cube, which is your 16 into 16 into 16. Okay, this gone 2 times, 256 into 2, 512 is the answer to this question. Okay. So that is why I really stress upon you guys understanding the concept from the deepest point of view. Okay, Rakesh runs a coaching center of 50 faculties. The monthly average salary of 35 faculty. 35 is how much? Right? 37,500, and for the rest 15 of them you don't know, but for all the 50 of them it is 30,000. Okay. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to work in terms of the ratio. Okay, I'm going to consider 35 as 7, 15 as 3, and this one as 10. Okay, and instead of considering this 37,500, I will consider 375 only, and I will over here consider 300 rupees only, right? Okay, in the end whatever the answer is I will put in 2 more zeros. That's it I'm going to do. Okay, so what is their salary for these 7 teachers? 7 into 5, 5, 2, right? Plus I don't know what is this these 3 teachers salary, so I'm writing it 3x, which is equal to your 3000. Okay, which means over here 3x is equal to 3000, obviously this is 75 and this is 375, right? Okay, so which means 3x is equal to 375. Okay, which means x is equal to 125. 125, we were supposed to add 2 more zeros, so we have added it. Okay, yeah, question number 74. Question number 74. Who are all here? Who are all here? Anyone from Faujis Academy? Enrolled guys. Okay. One is me myself. How about others? One is me myself over here. How about others? Who are all here? Who are all here? I have not yet started your reasoning portion here. Tell me fast. Tell me fast. Yeah. Who are all here, folks? You don't want to tell? You guys feel shy? 2 of you are here. Okay. So this is question number 74 that we have to work on. Okay. Yeah. We have this in a 1200 meter race. Rakesh reaches the final point in 36 seconds, right? And Rajesh reaches in 40 seconds, right? Then how much distance does Rakesh beat Rajesh, right? Okay, so in the race, what is happening? In the race, what is happening? Okay, Rakesh reaches in 36 seconds and Rajesh in 40 seconds, which means obviously Rakesh is the winner. What actually happens is your time is inversely proportional to speed. Okay, so if Rakesh has taken 36 seconds, right, and Rajesh has taken 40 seconds, right, the ratio of their speed, right, the ratio of their speed will be 40 by 36. Okay, right, right, Rakesh and Rajesh, the ratio of their speed will be 40 by 36, which is a 10:9. Okay, so if this is their speed, right, so if Rajesh travels 1200 meters, obviously Rakesh will travel 1080, right? So by how much distance he is being beaten? He is being beaten by 120 meters, right? Right, folks, who are all there. All right, so a man covers a certain distance by bike if he covers 25% of the distance, right? So I'm saying that 100 kilometers what he is traveling. Okay, 25% of the distance at 25 kmph. Okay, right? So obviously he is taking how much? 1 hour. Okay, 55%, 50%, right? At 50% of the journey at 50 kmph, right? Which means again over here he will take 1 hour, and the rest of the journey, which is a 25 at 12.5 kmph, which means he will take 2 hours, right? So total distance is 100, total time over here is 4. What is the average speed? 25. That's it. Now we are going to get started with reasoning. I hope we'll be able to finish off the reasoning in the next 17 minutes. Okay, right? So paper folding. Yeah. Paper folding 1. Yeah. Okay. 76. Hey, answer. 2, 3 of you, whosoever it is, answer it. Yeah. So if you open this, how will it look? Okay. Obviously, one thing is certain that A and D, these things are missing over here. Okay. Now, if you look at this square, if you open it, it's not going to open like this. It's going to open like this. Okay. Right. 77. Tell me, which one do you think will come next in the series? You guys feel shy writing the answer in the chat? Yeah. Or you guys are like, what sir, what is this? Just too easy. Yeah. Yeah. This paper is slightly easy. We'll see 26 1 also. Okay. Right. So we'll see up, down, up. And then over here we have this down thing. Okay. Right. Left, right, left. So over here we are going to have this thing in the right. Okay. Right. This thing in the right. So over here D is not your answer, obviously. Okay, right? And then easily up, down, up. So this time it will be down. Okay, 77 D. How about 78? How about 78? A B A B B. Okay, right? A B A B B. Right? Isn't it? A B A B B. Okay, but before this A you have one more, right? So over here A is supposed to come. Okay, and over here also A is supposed to come, right? A B A. Right? If you guys have any doubts, any queries, you can ask. Yeah. Yeah. Ask if you have any doubts, any queries or question. How about this 79? Tell me. Select the number from among the given options that can replace the question mark. Okay, 144, 171, 200, right? 264. What is the difference between these two? 27. What is the difference between these two? 29. So obviously the next one over here, the difference is going to be how much? 31, right? 31. And then plus 33 will be reaching this particular one. 6 characters A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3 are written in the different faces. Two positions of the dice are shown. Find the character of the face opposite to 3. Okay. So whichever the character is your common one, just write down. Okay. That common one and turn it in a clockwise direction. Okay. Write down like this. Okay. Whichever is the common one, write down and turn it in the clockwise direction. C3. Okay. Opposite to 3 is what they're asking. Opposite to 3 will be 1. Okay. Right. Select the option in which the given figure is embedded. Rotation is not allowed. Right. Where have you got this thing embedded? In which particular figure? Question number 81. Tell me. Question number 81. In which of the figures this is your embedded? Tell me where exactly it is. Can you show me? Most of the questions are easy. It won't take much time. But yeah, some of the questions are good. Tell me. Yeah, boys. Tell me. For question number 81, what exactly do you think is the right answer? Yeah. None of you are writing in the chat. What happened? Feeling sleepy? Yeah. Look carefully over here. Okay. That's it. Okay. So it is there in your C. Okay. It's there in your option C. Okay. All right. Yeah. How about others? How about this one? 82. Select the Venn diagram that best illustrates the relationship between the following classes: clothes, shoes and shirts. Clothes, shoes and shirts. Okay, right? Right? Cloth, shirt, shoes. Okay. Cloth, shirt and shoes. Okay. Right? Now you have this blood relation type question. You have done that. D star V, which means star means what? Q is the daughter of J, which means V B, okay, is your daughter. D is the daughter, okay, of V, and V plus means these are like which means V is the husband. We denote husband with the square box, okay, and wife with the circle, okay. And B cross U, which means Q is the mother of J, right? Okay, so B cross U over here, right? Q is the mother of J, right? So which means B is the mother of U. B is the mother of U, which means these two are siblings. So how is D related to U? D is the sister. Okay. Q is to the east of S. If Q is to the east of S, right? If Q is to the east of S, let me write it over here, okay, right? If Q is to the east of S, E is to the south of S, P is to the northeast of Q. Where is the northeast? Northeast is in this direction. I hope you can see my cursor, right? Right? P is to the northeast of Q. So P is over here. Okay, and north of T, right? And the north of T, if T is the southeast of Q, southeast is what? Right? Okay, so P is the northeast of Q and north of T. Okay, if T is the southeast of Q, what is the position of S? What is the position of S with respect to T? Okay, S is in this direction. What is this direction? Northwest. Northwest. In a certain code, spam is coded as 36 and jug is coded as 27. Frog has to be coded in that language. How will that look? Okay. How will that look? If you try to do the digital sum over here, it will not work out. It's like 36 is like 4 letters into 9 and 27 is like 3 letters into 9. So over here 5 letters into 9. 45 is going to be your answer. Embedded figure 86. Should I enlarge it for you? I hope you will be able to see it more clearly in that case. Yeah. Okay. So this is how your look like. Okay. Easily A is your answer. 4-letter clusters have been given out. 3 are alike, 1 is different. Okay. Which one is different? 87. Okay. G, H, R, S, O, P, B, C is missing. D is your odd man out. So this one, T plus U means, okay, A, let's focus on this. A hashtag C, which means T hash U means T is the daughter of U, which means C and T is the daughter of U, which means A is the daughter of C, right? And dollar means this guy is the husband, then obviously this one will be a wife. Okay, I mean not yours, C is, that is going to equal to be V, right? Isn't it? And plus means mother. Okay, so which means down below these two guys are siblings, right? How is A related to X? Same sister. Okay, we did this question. Since these questions are memory based, so many of these questions are if they are not able to frame it, I have taken this from Arihant book. Okay, yeah, which one do you think is the correct answer? Paper when it is unfolded. Obviously this is not your correct answer. Okay, obviously this is also not your correct answer. Easily you can think through it. The only doubt is like, should there be this much gap or only this much gap? That is the only doubt that is you will be having. Okay, now if you look at the paper very closely, the gap is very thin. Okay, right, the gap is very thin. Okay, so we'll not really go ahead with D because this gap is thin and this gap is slightly bigger, and the gap has to be uniform throughout. Okay, so A over here is a correct answer. Now this question number 90, it looks difficult, and if you read it, okay, it looks lengthy, right? Select the set in which the numbers are related in the same way as are the numbers of the following set. Note, the operation should be performed on the whole numbers without breaking down the numbers into constituent digits, right? Example, operation has to be done on 13 and not on 1 and 3, right? Okay, so this is what they have given. this plus this is this number, this plus this is this number. Okay, obviously 8 plus 4 is not 12, so is not your correct answer. Okay, right? 5 plus 2 is this, but again this is also not your correct answer. 6 plus 2 is 8, 2 plus 4 is 6, 1 plus 1 is 2. So C over here is a correct answer. Very easy one. Okay, right? Question number 91. Syllogism. Tell me. Question number 91. Okay. You read all of this. Okay. You read, you know the syllogism type. All keys are locks. Okay. All keys are locks. So there is key, there is locks. No door is a lock. Okay. So door is over here. Okay. Then it is asking some locks are doors. No, this is absolutely an incorrect one. Some locks are keys. This is a correct one. No key is a door, which is a correct one. So you're over here, both conclusion 2 and 3 follows. All right. How about this one, 92? In a certain code, long live is coded as mu I. Okay. Road is long is coded at IC2. Okay. Right. So what is common? I is common. Right. And in this two, road is long, what is common? Long is common. Which means we found out means long means I. Okay. Right. That is one thing is confirmed. Okay. Now game is live. Right. It's coded as IC2, road is long. Okay. Now game is live. Game is live. C mu Z. Okay. Right. Now road is long. Game is live. Okay. Right. So is common. And what is common? SI. Right. SI is common. So which means is means code is SI. Right. Okay. So which means if I means long, so which means mu means live, isn't it? Okay. Right. So where is this? Game is live. So we need to find out what is the code for game. Okay. So it's not mu, right? It's not I, it's not C also, it's ZT. Okay. Practice a few of the questions. Okay, right? How is it related? Pressure is to barometer, electricity is to multimeter. Okay, right? D over here is the correct answer. 94, which one comes? 29. Yeah. Again 29. Right? Again the difference is going to be 29. So 94. C is going to be our correct answer. Okay. Over here difference is also 29. 95. Yeah. 95. Tell me 95. This is a slightly challenging one. 95 is a little bit challenging one. Tell me fast. Question number 95, boys. Yeah. Question number 95. Tell me what you think. Question number 95. I want to know the answer from you guys in the chat without you guys trying to get the answer from, right, anywhere. Okay. By the way, there was boxing bouts of Indian contingent. Okay, India got 13 gold. Who and all won? 7 gold medals. Who and all won? Narendra lost the first round. Ankush won it. Okay. Okay. Majority of these boxing guys. Got it. Yeah. Yep, guys, you are supposed to write down the okay C. Okay, C is what you are asked. Anu is writing C. Okay. So how it works out is that how is 25 and 28 is related is 25 minus the digital sum of these two values. Okay, right? The digital sum of these values, which is your 18. Okay, 49 minus digital sum of these two values. Okay, so 49 minus 13, which is your 36. Okay, so we have your 37 minus digital sum of these two values. So 37 minus 10, which is your 27. Okay, unfortunately, Anu, you will have to get your answers corrected. Okay, thank you so much for your answer though. Okay, 96 is an easy one. You can see like A is rotating from here, there, there. Okay, right? So obviously A will come down. So A position has to have here, which means D is definitely not your correct answer over here. Okay, right? Now if you look at D over here, D goes here, 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 here. Okay, so D is supposed to be in your top left corner, so it is everywhere it is in top left corner, so that's not a big deal. Okay, if you look at the star over here, it goes up top right corner, bottom right corner, and then it will come to bottom left corner. Okay, so everywhere it is in the bottom left corner. Okay, 45 degree anti-clockwise, 45 degree, 45 degree, so it is supposed to face in this direction. Okay, 97. Easily D is your answer. Okay, right? Okay, now select a figure from the 4 alternatives which places the missing of the origin. Okay, now look at the figure over here. How does the figure look like? And there is your answer figures. Okay, right? So obviously this is not your correct answer. D over here is a correct answer. I'll go back and show you how exactly this look like. Okay, in each of these quadrants you have two hashtag sort of sign. Okay, so that is only there in D. 98. Which one do you think? 98 over here. Question number 98. Question number 98. What do you think? Select the related figure. Select the related figure over here. Okay, right? So obviously you will connect all the vertices first. Okay, and then this sort of shape is in the top right corner. So this is not your correct answer, right? And the shading has to be happening on the upper part. Okay, it's the only over there upper part, and the left part which is over there 98. B over here is a correct answer. Okay, now this one 99, question number 99 over here. Choose the correct code for the uncoded terms. Okay, yeah, choose the correct code for the uncoded terms over here, right? So this structure you can find in over here. Okay, So either of T or C is damn sure going to be the happen. Now this is square over here, this particular square, SD. So one of T or C, right? C is there, T is there, T is there. PS is there. We are not going to have PS as a answer. We need either of S or D. Okay, right? So which means T, A is also not there. Okay, right? Either one of T or C or and either one of S and D. Right? Okay. But when you look closely, this figure and this figure, the common element in these two figures is your C. Okay. The common element in these two figures is your C, right? Okay, and the common element is your this particular figure, which is your triangle sort of stuff or arrow, whatever you can see, which means this means your T. That means we can't take C from here, we can only take T from here. Okay, so which means C is A is not your correct answer, B is the correct answer. All right, guys. So yeah, so we are at the last and final question over here for the day. In the following questions, two statements are given followed by two conclusions, 1 and 2. You have to consider, okay, you know, syllogism type question, you can read all of this. Statement is that 60% of the government employees went on strike. That is the question. Sorry, that is the statement. Okay, Mr. Gopal is is a government employee. So conclusion is, right, Mr. Gopal went on to strike. Mr. Gopal did not participate in the strike. Only conclusion 1 follows. How do we know? There is only 60% of the government employees have gone. Okay, right. So these are the 60% of the employees who have gone for strike, and this is your Gopal. If he falls in this bracket, then he has gone to strike. If he falls in this particular bracket, then he hasn't really gone for the strike. So A and B is definitely not the right answer. It cannot be true both at the same time. It cannot be the case that he has gone to the strike and not gone to the strike both at the same time, right? So either conclusion 1 or 2 follows. D over here is your correct answer, folks. Okay, right. So with this we come to an end of this memory based AFCAT 2024 question papers. Okay, please practice maths, reasoning, GK, do it with 100% accuracy. Okay, and English, enjoy English. Okay, right. So thank you so much for joining. I'll wind up with this. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye, good night. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. Okay, I see you guys tomorrow with another question paper. Okay, bye bye, take care, good night.